Oh, y'all, guess what we've got? The greatest nail polish I've ever seen in my life. And you know, I'm not even just saying that as my intro. I'm so glad you're here today, and I cannot wait to show you that we've got the Lover of Words Moira Rose Part 2 collection from LynBdesigns. So let's get into these swatches, and afterward I'll give you the pricing, when and where to find these polishes, that nice LynBdesigns discount code, and my thoughts. First up in our collection of colorful vocabulary, we have Bedeviled. This color is described as a dark red base filled with pink to orange to gold shifting flakies and silver reflective glitters. You see me here playing around with one of these beautiful flakies. If this happens to you, I recommend just softly tapping it back into place so you don't have to restart that whole nail. So as you heard, this polish is packed with reflective glitter and gorgeous flakies, and sometimes that leads to a polish drying down a little bit textured. I didn't need a glitter smoother, but if you notice that there's more texture than you like, I recommend a glitter smoother. So here we've got Bedeviled up close under my ring lighting, where you can really see those flakies shift from that pink, orange, gold color. And you can also see here just a tiny bit of the twinkle of those reflective glitters. Now here is where those reflective glitters steal the show. This color under flash kind of made my nails look like sugar-kissed cranberries, but way cuter. Here we are with Bedeviled indoors in minimal lighting from my windows, where those flakies, even in low lighting, are so vibrant. And here we are still indoors, just with a warm light on, where you can see those reflective glitters trying to twinkle through. Bedeviled outdoors on a sunny day, giving juicy. Just 2 coats of Bedeviled with a shiny top coat. Next up, we have Vivacity, described as a red-leaning magenta base with blue to violet shifting shimmer and tiny silver flakies that give it a metallic feel. Now, I don't know exactly what type of glitters these are in here, but that first coat, just moving it a little side to side, it gave like disco ball. No flash, no nothing, just under my ring light. This is such a glittery, shiny color. Here we have Vivacity up close under my ring lighting. Here we are still indoors with minimal lighting just coming from my windows here. And here with just a warm light on, where we're starting to get some of those little twinkles. And here we've got Vivacity outdoors on a sunny day, where we are getting maximum twinklage. Yeah, you really get to see that blue to violet shifting shimmer out here, and it's stunning. You could probably get away with 1 coat, but here's 2 coats of Vivacity with a shiny top coat. Here we've got Languid, described as a muted blue jelly base with a red to orange shifting shimmer. And you can definitely see that red, it kind of looks pink here, shimmer. Something I love about that muted blue jelly base is that from some angles it can look like a soft gray, And then from other angles, you're like, oh wait, that's blue. And I just love a color that makes you like kind of have to double take, like, wait, what color is that again? So cute. Languid up close under my ring lighting here, where you can really start to see that orange shimmer. Here we are in minimal lighting. And here, still indoors with just a warm light on. And here we have Languid outdoors on a sunny day where the shimmer steals the show, but I'm looking at like the around the edges of my nails where you can see that glow of blue. Get out. I love that. 3 coats of Languid with a shiny top coat. Up next, we have Pernicious, described as a blackened green base filled with copper to gold shifting shimmer. Now, this color kind of has a similar effect to Languid, where the shimmer kind of takes over the center of your nail, and then on the outskirts, you can kind of see that green, blackened green base really well. Here we have Pernicious up close under my ring lighting. So I would say prior to now, we were seeing more of the copper look. I think now we're getting a little bit more of that gold. And here on my thumb, you kind of get a little bit of both. Pernicious indoors with minimal lighting just coming from my windows here. And here under warmer lighting, still indoors. Pernicious outdoors on a sunny day where we are just getting the best of that golden copper twinkly shimmer. This is another one where you could possibly get away with 1 coat, but here I have 2 coats of Pernicious with a shiny top coat. Up next, we have Irksome, described as an acid green base with green to aqua to blue shifting shimmer. Irksome up close under my ring lighting. Here we are with Irksome still indoors with minimal lighting just coming from my windows. And here we are still indoors with just a warm light on. We really get to see the twinkle of that shimmer. Here we have Irksome outdoors on a sunny day, just shimmering away. Three coats of Irksome with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have our thermal of the collection, Quixotic, described as a deep teal to pale gray thermal filled with purple to pink shifting shimmer and added holo flakies. So if you're not familiar with thermals, what you're seeing here is as I'm painting my nail, my hands are warm, so the color is actually changing from its cold state to its warm state live on my nail. So here I'm just showing you the warm state of Quixotic. And here is the fully cold state. And like you saw in the swatch footage, you don't need water, hot or cold, to transition this color. It will transition with your body temperature and the air and the temperature around you. Here we are with Quixotic up close under my ring lighting, where you can see it in both states. Still indoors here, we have Quixotic in minimal lighting, just from my windows. And here under warm lighting, where you can see that purple shimmer start to glow. Quixotic outdoors on a freezing cold day where it is in the cold state and we can really see that beautiful purple shimmer. Quixotic in the cold state, both state, and warm state. Quixotic in two coats with a glossy top coat. Here we have our glow-in-the-dark of the collection, Sycophant, described as a sheer indigo base with sky blue to indigo shifting shimmer and pale lavender glow in the dark. So something you'll notice as each layer dries is that it dries a little bit matte. This is pretty typical for glow-in-the-dark polishes, so if you don't prefer the matte look, I recommend going in with a glossy top coat, and if you do prefer the matte look, I still recommend going in with a matte top coat, just so you have that extra layer of protection to avoid chipping. Sycophant up close under my ring lighting here. You'll notice in a moment here in my glow-in-the-dark footage of this color, it's gonna look pretty blue, but the color actually reads quite a bit more pale lavender, like the description. Here we are indoors with minimal lighting just for my windows. And still indoors here with warm lighting. Sycophant outdoors, where we get this beautiful watery twinkle from that shimmer. Sycophant in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Next here we have our first magnetic of the collection, Mellifluous, described as a grayed out pastel peachy pink base with blue to pink to purple shifting shimmer and a ghostly silver magnetic pull. So here I've gone in for 3 coats of Mellifluous, and you'll see me bring in the bar magnet here and the ring magnet to get the crescent ring effect and the cat eye effect. And here I'm going in for 2 coats of Mellifluous to get that glass bead and velvet effect. Here we have Mellifluous up close under my ring lighting. Here we are indoors with minimal lighting from my windows. Mellifluous still indoors here with a warm light on. Mellifluous outdoors on a sunny day where that ghostly silver magnetic pull just twinkles beautifully. Mellifluous with 3 coats in the cat eye effect and 2 coats in the velvet effect with a glossy top coat. And last but not least, we have Ineffable, described as a linear hollow base with pink to orange shifting shimmer and a hazy silver magnetic pull. So in case you're not familiar with magnetic polish, you'll see me bring in the bar magnet and the ring magnet, and it looks like it's just for a second, but I actually hold it there for 1 minute. Some people say 30 seconds to a minute will get the job done. I do 1 minute, and then when I go over with my top coat, I hold the magnet over again for another minute. And I usually don't magnetize the first coat. If I'm doing 2 coats, I'll magnetize the second coat. If I'm doing 3 coats, I'll magnetize just the third coat. Now, of course, for the velvet effect, I just magnetize all coats because it's easier. And here we are under my ring lighting, where you see the ring effect, cat eye effect, velvet effect, and then my pinky is unmagnetized. And then of course on my thumb, we see the expanded version of the glass bead effect. And when I say expanded, what I mean is as the magnetic pigment dries, it disperses from that tight shape that you magnetized it to. just a little bit. Here we have my favorite way to see this polish, in flash. Check out that holo, y'all. Here we have Ineffable in dim lighting. And here, still indoors with a warm light on. And here we have Ineffable outdoors on an overcast day. Three coats in the cat eye effect and 2 coats in the velvet effect with a glossy top coat. And there you have it, the entire Lover of Words Part 2 collection. Now let's get into the details of the Lover of Words Part 2 collection, starting with pricing. So each one of these polishes will be priced at $13 US or $117 for the entire collection. They will be available starting March 13th, and you can get them from the LynBdesigns website. And you can get 50% off these polishes and possibly some other goodies on the website starting March 13th through the 17th with the code WORDS. And I will leave all of that down below in the description box. Now, before we get all up close and personal with these polishes, I don't know if I've ever shown y'all the box for LynBdesigns, like outside. Oh, I just oiled my cuticles, so there's gotta be oil. Oh my goodness. Here is the box for LynBdesigns. Of course, yours will not have oily fingerprints on it. It's got the website there, vegan, cruelty, 5 free, and all the ingredients. So yeah. And another thing I wanted to show you all is the magnets that I was using there at the end. So first up, we have the bar magnet. This magnet was the one that I used to get the cat eye effect. I just hold it over my nail like so, you know, don't bump your nail, for a minute. And then we have the ring magnet. That's how I got that crescent ring effect. I just hold it over my nail like so. You can do it from various different angles to get different ring looking shapes. And that's how I got that effect. And then now for the magnets that you probably couldn't see the whole body of. This is the glass bead magnet with its attachments. Basically, you just pick which height you want, tallest height, medium height, lowest height. I used to pick the lowest, but now I've been using the tallest lately. And you just, you know, you paint your nail, and then you attach the top piece of the magnet, not in the air like this. Definitely want to keep it down on the desk. And then you spin. And then I spin from the top like this, because this magnet has been known to flip if you spin from underneath like this. So yeah. Another thing about this magnet, this little line here determines where the bead will be. So if you want the bead at the very bottom of your nail, you want the nail there, which I would more want it in the middle, so you'd want your nail there. Or if you want it at the tip or at an angle or something, you know, you can play around with it, I guess. But yes, that's the glass bead magnet. And here is the velvet magnet. In case you've never seen that, it's actually called a horseshoe magnet. This is, I believe, the 30-pound horseshoe magnet from KB Shimmer. And yeah, you put your hand in here like this. You can paint it before and stick it in, or this helps keep it, I guess, maintains its magneticness. Or you just take that off there and then paint your nail while it's in between, you know, the U of the horseshoe. But yeah, those are all the magnets. Now, let's get up close and personal with these colors and decide on our favorites. I'll be right back. Okay, let's start with Bedeviled here. And we'll zoom in a little bit. I mean, get out of here. It's already way too beautiful. Can't take it. Let's see. If you already know your favorite, drop it down below. Just get real nice and close. Wow. Wow. Let's see it in flash. I wish there was a way to fully capture the twinkle of this polish. It's so gorgeous. So twinkly. Okay. Yes. Next we will, sorry about that. Next we will look at Pernicious. So this one, you can see the brush strokes in it. I know some people don't prefer that. I don't really mind it. And it just gives that, like, I think I've said this before with another LynBdesigns color, but it gives that like oil painting look. And look at how it drops back down, the little streaks. It gives like an oil painting look that I am beyond obsessed with. Yeah, there's that like gold copper shimmer. Wow. Okay, oops. Regular lighting. Just look at it under ring lighting. Woo wee! Yeah, this polish, the way it is, like, it creates depth. It's so pretty. Okay, and we have Vivacity back here. Yeah, this polish resembles a pink, like pink magenta disco ball. It's twinkly constantly, like constantly. Goodness. Like those little white spots you're seeing, that's not just like flat white spots or glitters. Those are all twinkling without flash. Ooh, wow. Okay. See it in flash. Ooh, yes. This is when the blue starts to come through. What a lovely surprise. Okay. Okay, and then up next, our thermal Quixotic. And if y'all didn't see the unboxing, if you want to go and learn some new words, if you don't know what these mean, we kind of go through all of them and their definitions in the unboxing. So make sure to check that out, or just Google them, because I know that I had never heard of these words until I saw these polishes, most of them anyway. And Quixotic was one of them. I think Irksome, I've heard that. You're starting to irk me, get on my nerves. You're irksome. Woo! That purple shimmer is such a beautiful addition to this. Man. See without flash. Ooh, I like that light pink purple and then that deeper purple, like deep purple and then light purple there. It's pretty. Remember, this one's thermal, so it goes from this, it's in the cold state right now, and it goes from this darker blue to a much more pale light blue. Sometimes I don't like those pale colors, but I feel like the purple shimmer in here really pops over the warm state, so I actually really like this one in the warm state because of that shimmer. Whoopsies. Okay, so we'll do Irksome. Speaking of Irksome, that acid green base, Irksome. Ooh, that aqua shimmer. Pretty. And then we'll see it in flash. Sparkly. Ooh. This is so glittery, you know. Wow. Can we focus? There we go. Sometimes the like off focus is even like a better way to see these. Like, oh my gosh. But we do want to see it focused if we can. There we go. A little bit. Who's next? We will do. What was this one again? Let me see if I can remember the name. Ineffable. Yes, Ineffable. Alright, so check out the holo. Like, hello. Wow. I'm done. I'm stopping. All right. Whoop. It's pumping, y'all. Woo-wee. Holo come through. Cute. So cute. And then let's see it without flash. Next, we'll look at Mellifluous. I was gonna say Maleficent. Oh yeah, y'all, and if you didn't know, the inspiration behind this is the character Moira Rose from the show Schitt's Creek. I watched just some of the like funny highlights on YouTube, and it seemed like a pretty interesting show. it looks like it starts off with this very rich family that just loses everything, and then they have to go like live, I think like out of a hotel or something. And Moira Rose is the mom. And for those of you who've seen the show, you're probably like, this is a terrible summary, but this is what I got from Season Flash. This is what I got from the clips that I saw. But yeah, basically the mom is like a very, at least at first glance, like uppity, uptight person, and this, these words are her just casual day-to-day vocabulary. This is really, I like these little blue glitters in there. That's really nice. I like that in Flash a lot, actually. Oh. Okay, and then next we will see Languid. Languid. Woo-wee, this shimmer is crazy. I always like to look at the neck of the brush to see that like base color really well too. So pretty. This color is super cute, y'all. Like, get out of here. Okay, let me see. Without Flash. Okay. And last but not least, Sycophant. And this one I remember is like somebody who's a extreme brown noser. Like somebody who just will do anything for whoever is in charge, like to the point of like it's obnoxious. Something like that. I don't know. Okay, let's see this one in a flash. Beautiful. And then don't forget this one glows in the dark. So, flash on. Let's see if we can get to glow in the dark. It's not quite nighttime over here, but it's kind of dark, so maybe we can make it do what it does. Dreamy. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. This is a tough pick, y'all. This is a tough pick. I don't know why it has to be so hard out here. Okay, let's see if we can do flash. I've got this little mini UV light here. Let's see if we can activate it a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. That's more true to the glow than that bright blue that you saw in the swatch footage. It's really like a pale, and it's got like just a hint. It's like a super light lavender. Super light lavender. Yep. Okay. It is time to decide. If you have not yet decided, time's up. We have to pick our favorite. All right, we've got our handy dandy throne. All right, drum roll please. My favorite of the collection is Languid. And in second place we have, is it Pernicious? Whoa, Pernicious! I love these two. I love those oil painting looking colors. I love stuff like that. They are so pretty to me. If you were able to decide, let me know down below which one of these was your favorite. And thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a great day, night, Women's History Month, right? Whoop, whoop. Or whatever else you got going on, y'all. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.